So let's talk briefly today about this Aurora gradient type design trend that we've been seeing all over the place. I'll pop up a couple of examples here. But I want to talk about how to achieve this, a little bit of the components of it, and then we're going to break down a design in Kittl kind of all at the same time together. I'm going to show you some elements that help make this design style achievable and make some font suggestions, some color suggestions, and just some overall design tips of how to go about getting this style. So let's just jump into a Kittl project and talk about it. So this design that I've made here is maybe a little bit more utilitarian, maybe a little bit more web design kind of. So I've just basically got a very simple sans serif font with Neuhaus Grotesque, a couple of different text boxes, one very large here and one very small here. Well, not small, I mean, that's still pretty large, but it's kind of this minimal type plus gradient vibe that we're really talking about. And then we can build off of that. So to get these gradient shapes, if I copy and paste this over, you can see that they're actually semi-transparent on these edges, or they have what you would call a feathered edge. And so that's what enables this to create this kind of hazy color overlay effect when I've got it on top of type, which is actually really, really cool. I wanted to get this printed as a poster for the office, but Drew said no.
Hip hip!
Boo! You stink!
But yeah, it's really cool, and this is a great effect and very, very easy to achieve. So in the Elements panel, I've just typed in blurred grainy gradient, and that will give you a lot of options. I've not even experienced the full capacity of all of these elements. We have these really, really cool kind of like trippy aura gradient shapes, like this cherry and these lightning bolts, hearts, different shapes and whatnot. I guess you could technically say it's in the same vein, but it's maybe a different kind of design. Doing that, I mean, that's sick. I already love that. Maybe even more than the Aurora gradients. So maybe this is kind of like a hybrid video. But yeah, so basically the idea is essentially just taking these blurred, grainy gradient shapes and layering them with text to get different compositions. So if I take this back, and I copied my artboard here, and let's just say I got rid of these, and then here's my simple just type layout that I've used my grid to help me, and then take a couple of these different gradient shapes. You can very clearly see the ones that I'm talking about that are kind of have a blurred edge, and they're kind of like gooby, ill-defined shapes. They're not like necessarily specific objects, which is kind of the point. Grab a couple of these, place them around the design. And so it's these shapes going over top of the text that kind of creates this very, very cool dynamic and depth to the design. For example, if I took this and I just brought it to the front, and I brought this and brought it to the front, it's like still cool, but it's not as like dynamic as this, to where like the color is bleeding onto the text and makes it look really, really cool. I want to explore a little bit more of these other shapes that we've seen. Let's just say I get rid of this line, I might get rid of that other text. I really do like this color and this shape. Let's say I wanted it to be like a little bit different of a color. I could just go down to the photo filter and then use the hue slider to make this a completely different colored shape. And you could do that with any of these. You could take this like, oh, I like the shape of it and the way that it sits and fits, but I don't like the color of it. You can just go down to your photo filters, use the hue slider to change it to essentially whatever you want. There's some very, very cool other grainy gradient shape aura looking things in here as well. I mean, you really can't go wrong with just a simple type layout and then one of these. I mean, that looks very, very sick. This is just saying World Expo of Cherries. It's like, wow, that's a conference on cherries, but it's like super, hype and futuristic and techie and gradient and just very, very cool. Overall, it's just very, very cool and kind of hard to miss with this trend. And it's just really, really easy to design stuff. I'm actually going to make another one. We can utilize the replace tool as well. One click and replace elements with other things. And maybe this could go back to exposition of, I actually liked the title case better, which I normally don't. I usually like all caps. It's just some random title. But you could absolutely make like a set of these posters and they would be so sick. 100% I would buy that.
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
But this is good for any kind of design. This is, posters, so print. You could do this on business cards. Maybe some social media assets and whatnot would look really, really good with this design. So basically your toolkit is just typing in blurred grainy gradient in the elements panel, and you will have all of these assets and then just a very, very minimal font. Oh, that's sick. That is amazing. Like, all of these are so sick. I've been doing so much work for no reason when all of this literally exists and very easily can make it look cool. Like, that's awesome. Very, very cool assets. So yeah, that's your cheat code, is just all of these assets plus a very, very simple font. Obviously, you can do whatever you want with your design if you want to use a different font, but to achieve this kind of minimal techie Aurora gradient vibe, definitely something like New Haas Grotesque or Helvetica is going to do very, very well. Maybe Archivo would look good as well as a font that you could use. But yeah, this is a very, very cool trend, very easy to achieve. And so if you're looking for something to do this evening or something to expand your design skills, that's your challenge, is make one poster using New Haas Grotesque and blurred grainy gradients and tag us. Post it somewhere and tag us at Kittl. Make sure to leave a comment on this video and tell us if you enjoyed it, what you like about this, what you don't like about this. What do you think about this trend? Is this something that you gravitate towards, or is this something that you don't really care about, or you've seen too much of and you're just kind of like, I'm just kind of sick of it? While you're leaving a comment, make sure to also like this video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and it helps you because it keeps you updated on all these different design trends, all these updates to Kittl, because Kittl is just growing really, really fast, and we want to make sure that you stay in the know on all of the nice new features, elements, and just everything having to do with Kittl in general. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.